The set of tools to the left of these tools here allow you to manipulate the pixels in a different way. You see that we have something called the Blur tool, the Sharpen tool, and the Smudge tool. Now, all of these tools are fun to use, but they can, of course, be taken too far, as with anything inside of Photoshop. So we have the Blur tool. What does this do? The Blur tool works by averaging out the values in between the pixels. Let's say you have a color strip of blue, and right next to it you have a color strip of green. When I blur those two, it's going to average those and kind of give me the medium ground in between the two colors, so that I have the illusion of a blur. That's just a quick example. Even if I have one color and I blur it, it's still going to average the pixels out to give me the illusion that the pixels are going from one color into a almost faded away blur or glow. Sharpen works in the opposite way. Instead of decreasing the contrast, it's going to increase the contrast. Now this tool, guys, is pretty dangerous. If you use Sharpen too much, it will pretty much destroy your image, and I'll show you that in a second. The most fun tool here is the Smudge tool, and the icon does indicate that you are simulating a finger painting. So you're moving the pixels around, you're pushing them around, and you're also blurring them. So you get this really cool effect. By the way, if you don't have a very powerful computer, Smudge can take a long time to calculate, so I want to make sure that you only do it a little bit at a time. So smudge like 2 areas, let go of the mouse, let the computer calculate it, and then smudge some more. If you take this tool and you just go crazy and you have a gigantic file, you might as well get some coffee, because Photoshop has to know where the pixels are, what pixels are next to the pixels, and then push those guys and then determine the location of the new pixels next to the old pixels. It's a mess. So I'll go ahead and start off with the Blur tool, and I'll zoom in to Sleeping Beauty here. I'm going to increase the size of the brush, and I'll go right about here. So I'm going to just blur this out. Notice how it looks soft now. We get this nice transition from hard edges into softness. Well, once again, Photoshop is looking at this color and the color here and giving me a nice average color in between to give the illusion of a blur. I'll go ahead and show you the dangerous tool now, Sharpen. Whereas we blurred things, Sharpen's going to take them to the point where the contrast is going to be enhanced quite a bit. See that? See how it starts to destroy the pixels? So we can use it moderately to bring the detail out in the whiskers, for example. The whiskers look much more pronounced now. But if I keep going, it's going to add so much contrast that it's going to destroy the pixels. And that's not good. I like that cat. And now what we're going to do now is go to Smudge. And what Smudge does is, as I said before, it pushes the pixels. So I'm going to click here and just push down like so. And look how the pixels smudge. And if I go too far and I do all this kind of stuff at one time, it's going to take a while to catch up. Now I have a pretty fast computer, but this is a low-res image, so that's why we don't have too much of a dramatic result there. You can always go back to the beginning of your experimentations by going to File and Revert, and you'll be taken back to your pristine image. So once again, Blur, Sharpen, and Smudge allow you to change how the pixels are averaged, how their contrast is adjusted, and how the pixels are moved around inside of your image.